follow at ndrooTV.
Happy Wednesday. Congrats, DK, on redeeming first. Welcome in Butter and Bite, Normal, and Yep. And Yep, congrats on your first check-in. I know you've been here for many streams. I just want to celebrate your first check-in. Hope you all are doing well. Happy Wednesday. So tonight we're continuing Children of Morta. We're making progress, I think. Oh, Swimmer, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Let me fire up the game. Oh wait, never mind. Steam is downloading an update. So we have time to chat and maybe watch like game trailers if anyone has a game they would want to watch a trailer for. Oh, Normal, GG's, you beat Silent Hill. That was the worst game you've ever played. It's for the PlayStation, right? PlayStation 1? Oh yeah, if anyone hasn't seen my post on Discord, but Gravity Circuit is currently free on Steam. There's the link. Oh, it makes sense, yep. Yeah, like when streaming, it's kind of hard to, like for me, I don't really read. But for Morta, I've been making a conscious effort to try to learn the Morta lore and story as much as possible. So I pay closer attention to the cutscenes. Book of Memories for the Vita. Also, Silent Hill Book of Memories. Oh, the Gooch. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Hope your shoulder is doing well and that you had a good day. Haven't heard of a bad game since Bomberman for the Xbox 360. Diablo clone for some reason. Interesting. So there's one game that I will never play. Thank you, Normal. Book of Memories. Okay. Oh yeah, the narrator for this game is very helpful. Does anyone have a game trailer you would want to watch together? Woken up. Appointment for the MRI results. This one. Oh, okay. Hopefully you can check the results tomorrow. But I'm glad you got it checked out. We've already watched the Gravity Circuit trailer together last stream. Sorry, Steam is still downloading an update, so I'm trying to find... Oh yeah, so Crispy recommended a game to me for the Super Nintendo. It's called Do Re Mi Fantasy. So we can take a quick peek at, I think, SNES Drunk's video on it.
Remember the game Milon's Secret Castle for the NES? It was cryptic as hell, hard as balls, and just not very good. So it wasn't like a whole lot of people were clamoring for a sequel. However, nearly 10 years later, after its release, it did in fact get a sequel, Do Re Mi Fantasy Milon no Doki Doki Daiboken. This time the game stayed in Japan, and that's a shame because this is a surprisingly very good piece of work. In Milon's Secret Castle, you quite literally were just playing as Milon and finding secrets in a castle. But in Do Re Mi Fantasy, you play as Milon in a straight-ahead 2D side-scrolling platformer, and man, between being a sequel to a bad game and not being released outside of Japan, this game is easily one of the most surprisingly great games I've ever played. It is seriously good, and I couldn't be happier to have found it. Yeah, on the surface it looks like the same old side-scrolling platformer stuff that you've seen in a million other games, but it always has something extra to put it over the top. Whether it be the items that can help you, the weird level design, the aesthetics and art design, the odd soundtrack, the gameplay variety, or the boss battles, this game just has so much to offer. Alright, on the surface Notice it
Welcome
looks timid at best. Your attack is that you blow bubbles, just like the game's predecessor. You trap enemies and send them away. You can also jump on enemies to stun them for a bit. Your life bar functions as the color of your clothes, green being maximum health, but if you take a hit while you're wearing red, you're dead. There's all sorts of items to pick up as well, like the winged shoes that allow you to float in the air, the bubblegum that serves as a get-out-of-jail-free card if you fall down a pit, bubble upgrades that enhance your attack, and lots more. There's 7 worlds here that include 7 or 8 shorter levels, all organized on this world map here. After the first world is completed, you have to find 5 musical stars that are marked on the map as such, and you have to find them to move on with the game, otherwise it'll send you back, even if you complete the level. The stars form instruments that give your character special abilities, and that's cool because thanks to the world map, you can go back to levels you already completed way back when and find all sorts of other stuff. It's pretty addicting. As you can see from the gameplay here, this is pretty standard platforming stuff. The enemies don't pose much of a threat, other than bosses of course, but jumping is the name of the game in Do-Re-Mi Fantasy. Thankfully this is what the game excels in, and the level design here is great. There's lots of wide open areas, multiple paths, hidden areas, and weird locales. Yeah, there's the usual ice level and fire level, but you also have a world inside a cake, and another world encased in Legos, or are those Duplo? But yeah, the jumping here is very easy to master. That's a credit to the game's design. And yeah, I'll say it, Do-Re-Mi Fantasy is really easy. You could complete this game without dying once without a problem, but that's
I like the
kind
sound of
besides
that.
the point in my opinion. Do-Re-Mi Fantasy earns major points from me just for being so accessible. This is one of those games that anyone can pick up and play and have a good time. And not only that, the way the game plays and how it's structured lends itself very well to be approached in lots of different ways. For example, this is a great speedrun game, or you can go for 100% and try and collect everything you can, or you can get through the game without killing any enemies. The nuts and bolts of Do-Re-Mi Fantasy make it flexible to play it however you want to approach the game, and that gives it a ton of replay value. I have to mention the graphics and art style here. There's no way around how to describe this game. Only one word comes to mind: cute. This game is very cute. And hey, if you have little kids like ages 4 or 5 that you want to get into old Super Nintendo stuff, this is a good game to start with. Also, I have to talk about the music. This is one of the most unusual soundtracks to any game I've played, and yet it really fits the game well. Nothing sounds at all like you'd expect here, and it makes for an alluring contrast with the art style. The music almost has like a 1940s Disney feature film quality to it, if that makes sense. It can be upbeat, odd, creepy, energetic, or just plain strange, but it always hits just the right note. Anyway, yeah, Do-Re-Mi Fantasy is surprising, unexpected, and really good. Yeah, it's a very easy game, but in this particular case, I don't see that as a negative, because what makes Do-Re-Mi Fantasy so good is its immediate accessibility and how flexible the gameplay is for speedruns, 100% runs, maybe a boss run after you completed the game, whatever you want to do. I believe this game is available on the original Wii Virtual Console, but they never bothered to translate it, which is odd. Still, that's really not necessary. This is a great game that I give a major recommendation. Track it down if you can.
Okay, so this game was actually recommended to me by Crispy Toast Ghost, and I am considering doing
So it wasn't like a whole lot of
doing a first playthrough of it sometime soon. The Gooch likes to change between reinventing the wheel to reinventing the health bar / gauge, right? Especially how the clothes change. I mean, they represent how much health you have left. I think red means you have only like 1 bar left. But yeah. So Steam is still updating. I guess another game that Crispy recommended to me is Gunpla. No. Yeah, this one. Steam doing Steam things. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm streaming at the same time.
And Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past had a baby. Anyone? Just me? Gunman's Proof was developed in 1997, but is playable in English thanks to a fan translation. Gunman's Proof is a
Hello, and welcome to Region Locked. The Super Nintendo had a library of wonderfully odd games, as well as its share of releases that shaped the gaming world as a whole. Several titles showed everyone that games didn't need to be basic arcade titles anymore. They could instead be long adventures that include interesting stories and have in-depth worlds that are more than just a background. Today we'll be looking at a game released towards the end of the Super Nintendo's life cycle, Gunpul, Gunman's Proof. Gunpul was published by ASCII in 1997 and developed by Lennar, a relatively unknown company. Their most notable release was Deadly Towers on the NES in 1986, which received great commercial success with mixed reviews at the time. Gunpul is a clear-cut clone of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, with a few minor changes. The change that stands out the most is the way the player attacks. Instead of close-range swordplay, the player fires a pistol at enemies. With the use of the shoulder buttons, the player can strafe, locking in a certain direction while shooting. They can also punch, but doing so isn't very effective. Bullets allow for quicker attacks at longer distances with no noticeable difference in damage to a punch. The game also has a screen that's almost identical to A Link to the Past's inventory screen. However, instead of items, it lists the player's available skills. Power-up items are found throughout the game, including different types of temporary guns and a carrot. We'll explain that later. Another contrast to A Link to the Past is that the game uses a lives system. If the player dies, they will be revived on the spot with their health fully recovered. If the player runs out of lives, they'll get a game over and respawn in the player's home village. The player can also find chests in dungeons. The treasures inside are converted into points once a dungeon is finished. Completing the dungeon quickly or with a lot of life remaining will award even more points. As the player is using guns and doesn't have any sort of shield, attacks can be actively dodged by using the crouch button. This lets players avoid gunfire by ducking underneath bullets, though the player can't fire while crouched. The player can also gain special skills, like a charge shot used by holding down the attack button. The game's story takes place in the year 1880. Two meteors crash into the Earth on a small island near the western coast of North America. However, nobody seems to care. It isn't until some time later, when monsters appear and attack villages, that people start to worry. After the monsters attack their victims, they drop crests inscribed with the word Demiseed, which comes to describe the monsters themselves. One day, the game's protagonist, a young farm boy who lives in the only town on the island, finds a crash-landed miniature UFO. Two mini-aliens emerge from the ship, known as Zero and Garrow. They inform the player that an intergalactic criminal named Demi has escaped justice and is hiding on the island, and that they are in fact space sheriffs. Zero then possesses the player's body, granting him the power to fight the monsters. Together, Zero and the player must destroy Demi, thereby restoring peace to the island. During the adventure, the player meets up with Mono, another alien who crash-landed while hunting Demi. Unfortunately, Mono possessed the body of a horse named Roboton and is unable to escape it. He joins the player in his quest and can be summoned by collecting a carrot, allowing the player to ride him and become temporarily invincible. Graphically, it's clear that the game's backgrounds are directly influenced by A Link to the Past, but with character sprites closer to the minimalistic style of Mother 3. The comparisons between Zelda and Gunpul are made even more obvious by the dungeon map screen. As you can see, the screen is almost exactly the same as Zelda's. Altogether, Gunpul takes a lot from A Link to the Past, but it at least has a unique approach with its theme and gun-based gameplay. Notable names attached to the project include Isami Nakagawa, who worked on the game's packaging artwork. Nakagawa became popular with his work on Poguri, a Japanese manga series. Also attached to the title was Akihito Tomisawa, a designer and scenario writer who previously worked at Game Freak. Several years after Gunpul's release, he mentioned his dissatisfaction with the final game, saying, "Inspired by my favorite Western dramas, I wanted to make a game based on Mr. Isami Nakagawa's character. However, there were several obstacles, such as communication with the company programming the game didn't go well, and it was commercialized without my consent. My ideas are reflected in a part of the basic idea, but the final release is completely different from what I had initially intended. I was deeply aware of the difficulty of making games in a freelance position. If given permission, it's a game I would remake." The game was likely never localized in the West because of its late publishing date, but there might be another, more sad reason. as it seems Gunpla was in fact Lennar's last developed game. It's possible it sold too poorly for the company to remain active in the gaming market. If the company was struggling financially, publishing the title internationally was not an option. From the sounds of the quote from Tomisawa, it's possible they were only just able to release the game commercially in Japan, as the game appears to have been rushed out without Tomisawa's consent. Luckily, the game received a fan translation from Aeon Genesis. If you think Gunpla is interesting, why not take a look at our video on Japan's exclusive Satellaview Zelda games? We'll also be streaming some of Gunpla on Wednesday, the 7th of June.
That's scary.
Second channel, so why not join us there? Maybe you could even subscribe to keep up with our future content.
But yeah, I actually played this on stream maybe last year. Really, really fun game. And it was recommended to me by Crispy Toast Ghost. As you can see, it's really close to Link to the Past. Mono horsed around too much. Wacky story reminds DK of the Mother series. Mother is it the prequel to Earthbound? Steam update is almost done. Shocked. Thank you, yep. Mother 1 is before Earthbound. Earthbound is technically Mother 2. Okay. And how many games are in the Mother series? Just 2 of them?
There is no leaving the path. Are you sure you're ready for that? I mean, really ready?
But yeah, I am a little surprised that the Steam update is taking this long to download. But it's okay. Okay, so 3 games in the Mother series. I'll save that song to listen after stream. But yeah, since I multi-stream to YouTube, I have received 1 copyright strike in the past. So now I'm very careful about listening to music on stream. So the music that I listen to, that I play on stream is mainly lcremix.org. DK feels like he's watching Bunny with the update taking so long. Oh yeah, I think this is why didn't Bunny also have to wait for this update? Mina the Follower. Okay, update is almost done, but let's... What? Oops. Watch one more short trailer. Bunny hopped away to play Mina. I think she's currently streaming it right now. I think we already watched this trailer on a previous stream, but I am intrigued.
I like to show you this. This is called salt and black.
Thank you for the bean, DK.
It doesn't look too appetizing.
Have bean with weight. I appreciate it. Okay, Steam finished downloading the update. This is either Barf or Peach. It's Barf. Thank you, DK.
Andrew, you are not the...
Yep. Thank you for the Guile theme. We can finally get started. DK.
Life is like a hurricane. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. Nights of a mystery. Only write history. DuckTales.
Thank you, DK. Perfect timing, as always. So where we left off was...
Mary
Oh,
was not found, the sanctuary would never function again.
I forgot. We have to do the forest rescue. And last time, and still, I am not sure what to do. It might depend on the character we choose as well.
Somewhere out there, surrounded by the darkness, Mary and her unborn child lay in need. The Bergsons would find them. Gluttonous and ravenous, it seized the lesser creature and took it into itself. Oh, the Guardian thought, for there was no time to waste.
Ow. So... Can I attack this purple thing? Retro, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. And this is where I was stuck last week. What do I want to upgrade? Maybe stamina? Okay, thank you. Yep, I might take you up on that offer. Almost definitely. I remember you said something about pillars. Yeah, if you could please look it up and let me know what to do. This is like a battle of endurance?
The forest grew quiet again.
Oh!
The respite from danger was only temporary.
Okay. So the answer was just activating the center pillar 3 or 4 times. Another battle of endurance. John is pretty good for this area. Not to waste the crystals.
The land was scarred. Rhea Dana's shrine, the catalyst to all that had happened, was no doubt nearby.
Definitely a battle of endurance.
There they were. The creature roared, but flight was no longer on the hero's mind. The Bergson now stood their ground, ready to take action.
Ow. we do it? My eyes are watering. Whew. Oh, Grandma. Last week my game might have just bugged where the wave didn't end correctly. Yeah, that would have made sense because that's my luck.
Disbelief was not a strong enough word, and denial was not a luxury they could afford. They knew all too well that Grandma Margaret was gone.
No, Grandma.
A hero may fade, but they never disappear. Their actions left to echo through an eternity, carried by those lives they touched. No one could believe that Grandma Margaret had passed away. The Bergsons shed their tears, hearts filled with sorrow. Ben and John were shocked to their core. The letter left by their mother spoke of a terrible secret, the one way to stop the corruption. The only way, she claimed, was to sacrifice their soon-to-be-born child to the god of Mount Morta. It was unthinkable. Perhaps their mother had made a mistake, had somehow misinterpreted the signs and ciphers. John thought they should keep the letter a secret for now.
Interesting. So the unborn child might need to be sacrificed.
John did not look up, dreading even the possibility of having to look his wife in the eye. How could he tell her so terrible a truth? Mark did not know what the truth was, only that something horribly heavy was weighing down his father's spirit. And Mary, oblivious, was daydreaming about the child she would soon bring into the world.
When outside the dungeons, the spirit can't pull them away before... Oh, okay, so that's why Grandma died.
Although they were still mourning the loss of their grandma, they had to continue with their mission. 2 more spirits of Rhea needed to be freed and brought to the safety of their home. John thought they should be able to find the temple that housed Aniraha, the spirit of the winds, somewhere in the city of Barahat. Maybe he could shed some more light on the nature of the corruption and the mountain god. A colossal monument built to the ruler of Barahat, and the voice of Aniraha, Bushra herself. A twisted prison of hate and decadence.
Interesting. The Ziggurat. 2 out of 3. So there's one more. There's dungeon to rescue this spirit. Okay, so let's try and mark. Four floors? Ah! Regions are connected to this crystal.
A moment to rest. Look around.
But yeah, I have to say that fight with that boss went well. So I'm slowly learning. Oh, okay, so they can't be protected from death if they're not in regions, in the region of the crystal.
The old man explained that yesterday's secrets and even tomorrow's legends can be found written in the stars. Unfortunately, an eyeglass broken in yesterday's haste would not allow vision into tomorrow's unknown. The sage looked upon the Bergson for help. The nearby mines could luckily supply the materials needed to craft a new lens. All the young boy would need was someone to watch over him while he gathered them.
Defend the boy! No! Oh gosh. Okay, work faster, little boy. Oh, he's done? Yeah, Grandma would have done this much faster. Ah! Take your time, no rush. This is not good.
The eye glanced
gosh.
east. The two turned.
Oh yeah, my rage.
Tomorrow's legend resting beyond the horizon, while
Thank you.
yesterday's secrets hid nearby.
Somehow we made it. Right. Okay, third floor.
Adam continues about their run-ins with the bandits.
Cheesing. Not the smartest thing I've done. So according to the map, maybe we go down, right, up. That's where he came from.
Wood and metal were strewn about. One body was present, one missing.
Wait, that's the son that we were protecting?
To the left were Anairaha and Bushra, a son and his betrothed. To the right was the mountain god, a father wrapped in veiled jealousy.
Wait, what's that thing raining down on us?
But the mountain god did not expect his son to happen upon love.
I need health. Oh, the red thing is our attack?
Breaking the circle will prevent the summoning.
So it seems like we have 3 runes equipped simultaneously. Rage.
In the distance, a chuckle echoed as another approached his table.
Boss? Okay, we have Rage. We have Swap Divine Relic after use. Increase experience gain. Release Massive Pulse, pushing enemies away from you. Create Cloud that periodically inflicts lightning damage. And some runes. Okay. Rage is the key.
Raha, the god of the free wind, now tethered to the ground. His voice to the people is now just the warden of his prison.
I tried to brute force. Yeah, he absolutely bodied me. But that was a good first attempt.
The flying creature they were seeing in the sky filled Lucy with excitement. Could it be a dragon? However, Kevin had heard Mark say that there were no dragons left on Rhea, and he told Lucy the same. It wasn't hard for Uncle Ben to guess that this strange woman was from the far north.
New
The
character?
were curious to know her reason for making such a long and arduous trip down south. The details Apon knew about fighting the corruption surprised the family and stirred more than a little respect for her. Yet more surprising was the fact that the wife of a tribe chief would take unto herself to journey south and give aid to the Bergsons. Apon joining in with the Bergsons would help them in their quest.
Siaku.
Moreover, Mark could learn a thing or two from her in the art of combat.
Thank you for the bean, Siagu. Happy Wednesday. Dead fish or banana? It's banana.
On
Thank you,
an
Siagu.
evening just like any other, the old man appeared, followed by someone else, but it was not his apprentice. The man now carried the weight of two upon a body where youthful curiosity had been replaced by remorse and obligation. He sought safe haven with the Bergsons so that he may discover something worthy of his son's legacy.
Tally for redeems? Yes, actually. We go there and scroll to the bottom and click on Generous Bean Boozled Donors. I can see that you've given me 17 beans total. DK Banana has given me 130 beans. Yep has given me 12. These are all-time values. But yeah, hope you're doing well, that you had a great day. Am I dodging? Wait, rage gain rate? Yeah, good to see you, Siagu. We are playing a game that was generously gifted to me by Yep. New character! Apan. Let's spend some time leveling her up. Oh, you played this? Apan is a mid-range warrior. She can take out multiple enemies at once while preferring to keep them at a safe distance. Uses energy to perform magic glyph. Primary attacks fill her energy. Ooh. Wow. Eli, welcome in. Hello, stream place. Hope you're doing well. Thank you again for the teleport last week. Eli, have you beaten this game? Oh yeah, yep. I'm definitely leveling up really quickly, which is nice with the new characters. Is there a lightning guy? I think you're talking about John with his Heaven Strike ability. Maybe. Okay, you don't think you beat it, but you got pretty far? But yeah, right now we are in the second area in the second dungeon. We just rescued Mary in the forest. Ooh, rage.
Bellagio the Odd sought another game of cat and bird.
Bird? Follow the bird-like creature before she disappears?
Deeper into the depths she moved. Bellagio fled further. Relishing the chase, she accepted defeat.
Mysterious egg? Okay, where does this bring us? Rage.
Chamber of the Divine, and a reward.
Flames orbit you, damaging enemies.
Cries for reprieve were met with only one word: march. left behind was a most curious stone.
Artifact?
A warmth filled the hero's body on contact with it, embracing them in comfort. Uncle Ben would certainly have something to say about this strange stone. Welcome, friend, shopkeeper. Don't mind the occasional bloodstain on the merchandise.
I love cheesing enemies. Pong. Health?
Something more sinister would be appearing soon. only been quicker.
Let's try her rage. We are not in good shape health-wise. Lightning damage, flames, increased movement speed. Okay, this attempt, I'm just gonna spend it trying to learn the boss's attack patterns. This should be interesting.
Raha, the god of the free wind, now tethered to the ground. His voice to the people is now just the warden of his prison.
Hey, Mennonite, how's it going?
Because my companions are doing some damage at least. Okay, note to self, don't get too close to the boss. Lonnie, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. We are just in the middle of a boss fight. I'm waiting for a health drop. I need health. Yes. Oh, we did it! Thank you, Lonnie, for the bean. Bar for peach. It's barf. Thank you, Lonnie. Yeah. Endurance test. And we were lucky we had the flames and the companion.
The air touched him, filling him and ruffling his feathers. He looked upon the Bergson, small and fragile, but so full of hope. Infectious hope. Perhaps this would be the last time.
If I lost, you were gonna blame Lonnie. Ooh, we got some good money. Second spirit.
The spirit's words took life, forming images to reveal what was hidden from the Bergsons. And so it was their fate to do battle. The children of Rhea Dana, on the cusp of victory, would find their world overrun with the corrupted, drowning them. And when they could fight no more, they would bow to U's demand. But there was no salvation in fighting his corruption. By giving a heart-wrenching sacrifice, they would stay the gods' thirst for mere centuries. Truth revealed to the Bergsons, but there was still more hidden.
2/3 done with the game. Good progress. Thank you. Yep.
The children of Rhea Dana, the Bergsons' destiny, and how much of it Grandma had found out before her demise were the subject of much speculation among the family. Speculation without certainty. When Linda told them about Mary's deterioration, they knew they had to do something to prevent another catastrophe. Mark tried to help with his knowledge of herbs. He knew that somewhere around Berahut was a tree, and an extract of its seeds might help stop Mary's chills and fever. But Berahut had surrendered to the corruption, and not even the trees were safe from it.
Barra hut. Is that in the forest again?
Uncle Ben examined the unusually warm stone for some time. Intrigued as he was, additional stones with strange properties would be required. If any more appeared, they were to be brought to him immediately, for a machine of great importance could be fashioned from them.
Right, the artifact that we found. Let's save up for this one. Increase the money drop from enemies.
Each time Kevin dabbed his mother's forehead with a wet cloth, he could feel her breath coming a little easier. He would do it forever if he knew it would make her well.
Oh, Bear Hut here.
The beauty of the ancient ruins was still evident through the decay brought on by time and sand. But once humble living quarters were now slums, the muck of the corruption.
Maybe we'll find it here. Give her an Advil and she'll be fine. So this area has 2 floors. So it's not that, I guess, large. Oh, I can cheese them around here.
A chamber touched only by earth, wind, and the powers that be.
Ow. I have rage, but I'm gonna save it up for maybe the boss. Because I'm not sure how many rooms there are left in this dungeon. "69th floor is a fun one." Okay, that was some good cheesing. Damaged enemies burn in fire. Ooh, okay. Okay, we have rage. Yeah, we mainly have rage.
The tree of prosperity is withered after twisting away from Rhea's will.
Ow! Crispy, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Caught on stream beating wood. His health bar is not going down that much. Maybe I have to destroy these purple things? I think that's it. Yeah, we should have brought a chainsaw or Kirby. I feel like John would be really good here with his Heaven Strike.
Oh my gosh. Bark splintered and left behind the seed that the Bergseeds were looking for. No time to waste. Mary was waiting.
Oh man.
A sip of the potion was enough for Mary to open her eyes and for John to exhale with relief. Unbidden, pain shot up Mary's spine and filled her eyes. Something other than her illness. The baby was coming. It was time. The air was suddenly still. Mary's sickness had made them forget that the ravenous mountain god was after their baby. Curses.
Curses.
The Black Altar had come alive with an ominous will. Even Rhea's light couldn't keep it at bay, couldn't delay the evil of the sacrifice forced upon them. When John held her for the very first time, she was crying the song of life. Life was all that went through her father's mind. How he wished that he could give his own life instead of his baby's, but his life was worthless to the cruel god. Mary burst into tears. She feared that John was going to give up their baby to save the world, a world that at this moment was worth nothing at all to her. What chance did the Bergsons have against this monstrous cruelty of an immortal god? What a rotten fate that had doomed them to this destiny. How could John accept this heinous cycle of looming apocalypse and child sacrifice? His whole body shook from the conflict inside him. Every glance from his family was like a mortal wound to his heart. Would they let hope die this day?
Oh, the baby's name is Hope? I'm defeating all the bosses first try. Now Morta got too easy for him.
This could not be the end. No. Grandma had already sacrificed herself for them. There would be no more sacrifices. Together, they were going to break that cycle and defeat unjust fate. And the look in their eyes became one of resolve. For life, for hope.
With the power of friendship.
Would their decision bring even more
Oh, crispy, not yet.
corrupted wrath upon them? They worried together, but each time they looked at Hope and saw her smile, resolve and belief in a better future would ease their worry.
We beat the second area, so there's one more left. So 2 out of 3. Critical hit damage? Bunny, welcome in. How is Mina the Hollower?
Was not defending their home more important than saving yet another spirit? Was there any other way to defeat Wu? Many questions remained without answers. They knew of no other way than freeing Nai Saramah, the third and final spirit, the spirit of dreams, one who could answer more of their questions.
Okay, so this is a spirit of dreams. So we beat this one, and we freed this spirit. So one more to go. Mina was fun and difficult. How difficult?
The industrial district of Terra Lava, a city with no time for daydreams, where machines continued tinkering away and Ane Sarava's chamber resided.
Do you think I would struggle with Mina the Hollower? Oh, Crispy, have you played it? My strategy is just to run! Oh my gosh. Five hours so far? Looks like I will be playing Mina the Hollower after my Link's Awakening playthrough.
Four steps were to be taken in the correct order.
Did he fall asleep? Boosts your maximum health or damage while you carry it. But yeah, we are making good progress tonight in this game. We beat like 3 to 4 bosses?
In the Forgotten Room, a relic of power.
3 bosses?
a curious automaton rummaged through a pile of scrap. It was fully machine, but more human than its hostile ilk, appearing as an innocent little girl. What was such a fragile child doing alone down here?
Wally?
It was laughing and shaking the small girl, just like any other bully. And a Berkson knows how to deal with bullying.
Oh! Yeah, drastically different in difficulty.
With the common foe defeated, the little automaton's trust was earned. Dust and decay hung in the stale air. The man sat motionless. The machine called out, but the silence could not reply. Nothing remained for the little automaton in the hollow room. It was all alone.
Oh, rescued? Oh my gosh. Underrated movie 9? I don't think I watched that movie.
One held a gift. Two hid ferocious creatures. It was the lady or the tiger for the Berkson.
It was good, but it got overshadowed by bigger titles. Good health drop, at least.
Welcome, friend, the shopkeep greeted. Don't mind the occasional bloodstain on the merchandise.
He chose poorly. So floor 3 out of 3. Now that I'm in the later zones and dungeons, what do I prefer to use gems on? Chests or vendor items? I'm leaning towards vendor items. Because this one we bought from the vendor. And it sounds good to me, healing. Dodge chant. Oh wait, no, we don't have enough. Ooh, critical chance. Shadow Dance. Instinct sounds good.
She flaunted her wings, begging to be chased. Further, she fled.
I don't know where the bird
Bellagio
went.
fled further.
Okay.
She was caught.
Mysterious egg. I have rage. Chicken chasers unite. Yeah, the drops have been amazing. Especially in the fight with the... I forget which boss. But the items where I had the fire orbs and the companion with the lightning. Increased primary damage. Increased primary attack damage. Consume a random divine item to increase maximum health. Boost maximum health or damage. Create a totem that greatly buffs you. Frenzy effect will increase critical chance while also increasing attack speed. Totem of Rustem. So I'll use E if I'm in trouble.
Gears continued to crank on in the distance, for the city must survive. Now, even more soulless than before, without life, and as if none had ever existed within the gears, and a new road forward opened with the jewel of life.
Yep, I think I'm getting the hang of this game.
The Bergsons stood at the gates of Anai Sarava, but caution dictated going back and informing the others. Were they cursed? The more they moved ahead, the more the corruption came forth. Blocked from light, everything withers. The Bergsons wondered what dangers could lie ahead still.
Yeah, true. Rage and items and runes.
She did not speak, just sat there in silent sorrow. And try as they might, the family could not console little automaton.
Resilience upgrade is unlocked? Decreases the effects of all movement hindering attacks on the Bergson. But yeah, we were lucky with, I had like 2 items that increased our primary attack. Plus Kevin's rage is, yeah, really powerful. Everything is corrupted now. That's nice. Let's take a little quick peek.
The darkness threatened to overwhelm them, but they needed to unshackle the last spirit as soon as possible. Free of his earthly shackles, Anai Sarava still remained a prisoner of his own creation, Area 30, his workshop, and Jin's birthplace.
Just take a quick peek. So 3 floors.
Steps were taken without regret, for it was never possible to change a destiny unknown.
33% chance. Oh! Increase movement speed. Melee attackers become slowed. Increase that. Ooh.
Surged from the object in the center of the room.
Yuki the seal? Like animal seal? Yeah, it feels more difficult with her. Yep, definitely fast. Wait, no! Oh, we have rage. That's nice. Heals you when you deal enough damage to enemies. Sounds good. Ow. increased maximum health. So if I guessing if I press R, I get full health back?
Ane Sarava, the architect of Terra Lava, and the creator of Jinn, a machine meant to serve the land, not oppress it.
That was a good peek.
All that effort for naught. There was no water. They desperately needed an alternative. No one seemed able to make a decision, and Mary was almost at her wit's end. Help, though, sometimes hides in places that you do not expect.
More health is nice. Okay, I think this is a good spot to stop for tonight. We had good progress. So I'll be playing Link's Awakening DX tomorrow, continuing. Okay, let's raid CJ. He is playing Donkey Kong Country 2. But yeah, thank you Normal for the bits. Thank you DK, Butter, Normal, Yep, Retro, Lonnie, Bunny for the check-ins. And yeah, so yeah, we beat around 3 bosses tonight. And we are on maybe the last spirit before the mountain god. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, chatting, and lurking. Take care. Have a great night and a wonderful day tomorrow, and see you tomorrow night. Okay, good night.